Okay. We good? We live? Let's see if everything's working. Okay, chat. Hello, hello. Let's see if you guys can hop on. Chat should definitely not be disabled, so let's see what's going on. All right, so I know it's working for sure. What's up, everyone? I'm trying to figure out how to get chat on here because it's not turned on. I'm not sure why, but nonetheless, we'll go through the markets for sure, for sure. So let's get this thing all good. Okay. Well, this week was a pretty crazy crazy week. I'm going to try to figure out how to do this for you, but in case it doesn't, I actually don't know how to fix this. So I have no idea, but we're going to go through the market regardless and see exactly what happened, and it's going to be more so an educational call because like this has been like honestly pretty freaking crazy. It's pretty insane. Everything that's actually happened over the last week or so. So yeah. I'm gonna search up how to enable chat on the live stream. If I can find a solution, then that'll work. If not, then you guys are cooked and you have to deal with it. Sorry guys. YouTube live dashboard. Mm-mm-mm. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, apparently it's a glitch, so that's unfortunate. But let's go through all of this and actually get a quick markup. So I know I'm not gonna be able to ask you guys for anything, but again, these sessions are for you, and so it's a luxury that we have like a lot of we have people on that you guys can talk to. We have a lot of people that you can ask questions to in the community in general, so that's always a good thing. But if you guys have any questions, ask them in the chat, in the trading chat. I guess that's going to be one of the benefits of being an Academy member. If you guys are in the Academy, feel free to drop questions in the chat. I'll actually drop a message in there so you guys can see it quickly. Let's go here. Live stream. Live stream questions. Let's do that. Okay, should be there now. If you guys can see it, definitely let me know in this chat. Okay, perfect. So, yeah, let's get this thing going. I have the chat open beside me, so if you guys have any questions, I'll be able to answer them right away. But let's actually go through the markup. So what I saw this week was really, really, really wild. It was like we did not, if you guys are familiar with power of three, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, this is just like it's a term that we use in trading that tells you essentially what's going to happen before the market actually happens. So it's something that allows us to measure, what price is going to do going into the New York session. So if you guys don't know, and some of you guys are actually coming in from like my audience, or you guys are coming in from someone that shared the link on a social media post or whatever, power of three and us and how we use it in general is for New York session. So most of us are New York traders that are on this live. We have a lot of people that love New York trading. However, we do have some people that trade Asia, but power of three doesn't really work for Asia. It's mostly a New York concept because it's essentially lining up Asia's accumulation with, and I'll teach you guys quickly. It's essentially lining up Asia as an accumulation area, and let's just say we call this Asia, okay? So if I double tap here, and this is Asia, all right? Then we have London. Let's just say London takes out Asia high, and that's London, right? So we mark up in there. And then we have New York distributing downwards, okay? So this relationship, there we go. So this relationship for the actual pretty much sessions when it comes to power of three is really important. So when we have London take out Asia high, we tend to see distribution in New York. If London takes out Asia low, then we tend to see distribution that's bullish, okay? Why does the live stream have child lock enabled? I don't know. I actually, literally, so they say that, yeah, it should be fine. The chat should be fine. I searched it up, and apparently it's a glitch, because I put all the settings that we put on the exact same. It's like a template. The template is exactly the same as it was last week, so not my fault. Could be OBS. But, yeah, so Asia, London sweeps Asia low, and we got New York distribution, okay? So that's the whole setup that we have going into this. All right, so that's essentially what PO3 is. PO3 is that. So we're going to go and take a look at the sessions and what happens. And we're going to look at the actual watch list that I had marked up from yesterday, okay? Or from last week, sorry. So if we go to the daily chart, let's take a look. And we got this. Now, where is our outlook? Here it is. Okay. So you guys can see what we called out last week. We were bullish for this asset, right? We completely rejected the weekly fair value gap. Price formed a big pin bar on the weekly time frame, which we can use as a bullish sign. We're still inside the daily bearish fair value gap. However, with disrespect to the 4-hour plus potential tap into a 4-hour bullish FEG, we may have the necessary ingredients to go long. If we disrespect the daily bearish fair value gap, we'll continue all-time high territory. So as you can see, from this entire week, we were correct. So we got a W on gold. We called out the market exactly as it was, which is a good sign, right? And I think we'll notice actually in a lot of the callouts that we made were really accurate. But funny enough, the actual trade opportunities to take trades weren't there. Like, it just wasn't. There was nothing in New York. Everything was happening in Asia or in London. Today had a massive distribution during the London session. So if you guys were trading London, you would have seen a really obvious setup. But obviously for me, like I'm sleeping at that time, so ain't no way I'm gonna get put in that situation to actually take a trade in London. So yeah, we were bullish overall. So really, really, really good analysis. And so now we're gonna rewrite something over here because this is gonna be a little bit different. Okay, so after the bounce from the weekly FEG, we continue to move higher and expect price to keep running up to all-time high territory. We've disrespected the bearish imbalance, but a closure higher would make things even more obvious. Okay, so this is where we're sitting at with gold. Okay, let me know if that makes sense, guys. Here, let's see. Hold on. You guys are saying. It's so you don't say some basic Christian cancel child mode. What? Who turned child mode on? I'm telling you guys, it's literally exactly the same. But it is what it is. It detected a child on the chat, so it had to disable it. That is so crazy. Okay. So that's gold. That's gold. And so we got it right. We're gonna move on to NASDAQ. This shit was just like insane. This was garbage. Like actual garbage. Okay. NASDAQ this week was one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. And this 4-hour imbalance just kept holding. Price didn't really know what it wanted to do. I'm gonna be so honest with you guys. I don't even know what the heck's going on here. So we're gonna take a look at price. I'm gonna delete all this extra stuff. Okay, we're gonna delete all this. We're gonna mark this up where it should be. And actually, let's go to M and Q instead, because I really don't want to mark up the same thing twice, because I'm gonna be trading this anyways. So this is essentially what we have. Okay. And previous week low is down here because it's Tuesday. And then previous week high. Okay. This daily fair value gap is here. This one has been fully filled, so we're going to forget about that. We got low resistance liquidity now, multiple areas of low resistance liquidity to the downside. So, again, what's low resistance liquidity? It's just unfilled liquidity. It's a really easy target for price to want to go to. Okay? So that, to me, is a super bearish sign. But we've sort of disrespected this daily imbalance. That's the tricky thing, though, right? We got to see if we're actually going to respect this and go down, or if we're going to disrespect it. So at this point, like, there is low resistance liquidity up top, but there's so much down below. Again, we're moving sideways. So for me, moving sideways on this asset, trading it has been terrible recently. Once we either get respect or disrespect of this imbalance, we'll make a call out in the Outlook channel. So for those of you that don't know, I do drop outlooks for the market when things are looking like a certain direction. Like, I'll tell you guys if it's bullish or bearish. So if there's like a PO3 that's happening and I notice a sweep of liquidity and we get a break of structure and we're moving in a direction that's very obvious, I'll call it out. If we're heading towards low resistance liquidity, or if I'm in a trade and I'm calling out targets or stops or whatever, I'll mention that, okay? So right now, there's not enough for me to be like, you know what, 100% we're going in this direction. I am leaning bearish still because we're on bearish market structure. Like, overall, we have bearish market structure and we got low resistance liquidity down below. It just makes sense. It makes sense that this is a retracement and we're going to continue to make lower lows. But overall, it's, I'll just put leaning bearish. Leaning bearish because of market structure. Okay. But aside from that, it's been mainly moving sideways this week. But yeah, that's what I would say for MNQ, okay? So that's what I have for that. For gold, I'm leaning bullish. Gold is like the easiest to read from all of them currently, which is nice. It's nice to see that. Next thing I want to do, I want to look at I want to look at Euro USD. Let's take a look at Euro. So Euro is interesting. And actually, before I continue, let me look at the chat, see if you guys said anything. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. Yo, why y'all cooking each other in the chat? That's crazy. This is actually insane. Okay, so yeah, on high time frame, what do we have here? So we're correcting to the daily fair value gap, expecting price to continue. We did fill it completely, and we're still inside this weekly. Again, for Euro USD, I'm high time frame, like I'm super bearish long term, but we got to figure out what price wants to do next, right? If price wants to continue, we did respect this bearish imbalance here, if you guys see. So we respected a monthly bearish. Sure, we closed over it a little bit, but then price came down after that. So this could be a scenario where price just continues to move lower and lower and lower and lower. But again, disrespecting this weekly imbalance is probably a better look for us moving into the next week. But look at this weekly structure. And we have a breaker structure here, weekly fair value gap, liquidity sweep. This is really big. This liquidity sweep here is nice, okay? So we got weekly sell side liquidity in that area. And if we go down to low time frame, that seems like a really bullish sign. If price can make its way back up here, okay? So we'll see what happens to Euro. I was actually looking to take a trade on it today. I don't know if it played out. Let's see. Where is my trade? Actually, don't even know where it was. I think it was bullish because, I mean, we had bullish PO3 and that worked out. So good stuff, good stuff. Okay, Euro USD, I'm bullish overall. So let's do a quick markup here. Another prediction. So as we're inside a weekly FEG and swap liquidity to the upside, or sorry, yeah, swap liquidity on sell side. If we get continuation higher, we'll likely make a move up. Overall, still bearish on high time frame. Okay. So that's my prediction. If we go to USD CAD, actually wait, hold on, let's go to Euro USD that one time real quick. So this is where we're at. Monthly liquidity sweep, right? Hit this order block. Inversion down below would be a nice target. And then the weekly, yep. We'll have to see, right? We'll have to see. So you don't want to get lost in the high time frame because sometimes when you go too high time frame, it's like, well, okay, like, should I even trade? And then you never end up trading, and that's where things get really tricky. So just want to be a bit mindful of that. Okay. And on the 4 hour, we have multiple fills. We have a fill right now of this 4 hour FEG. So if we can disrespect this 4 hour, that's my trigger to start looking for longs. So 4 hour FEG over here. Perfect. Okay, cool. So let me write a note here. Oops. There's actually a way to do like these anchored text or note call out. We do this. That's so weird. I know Remco uses these. My brother Remco uses this. Here, I'll take his gray aesthetic. Where is it? Where's the outline? Hold on. Border. There we go. Let's go black. There, clean. There we go. Like that note? You guys like that note? It looks clean to me. Looks beautiful to me. Christian, can you also look at BTC? 100%. 100%. Let's do that. Let's do it. Okay, so this is my thing for Euro. I was going to go to USD CAD, but Amalia wants to see Bitcoin, so we'll do that first. Okay. This was an example of a trade setup that I had. I was just off of what was it? This tiny imbalance. I wanted to see if it'd play out. It didn't send it out. But we're in an area that I really like. So now this is where a trade could actually start forming for us. So let's go to this daily. What was my thing? After hitting the monthly BPR, we did price drop 53% as it stands now. If we hold the monthly FEG, we'll continue to push higher. And take out newly formed draws liquidity. I'm going to sit on my hands until we get better price action. So let's go to the monthly time frame for a second. And I think we disrespected that, right? Oh my gosh. Well, 8 days. We got 8 days left to see what happens with this. But I'm going to be real with you. I don't know if this is looking too good. So, yeah, I don't know. Let's go to the thing is there's actually a monthly over here. It's so dumb. But if it's wanting to fill this and then leave, that'd be the craziest thing I've ever seen. There we go, right here. It's a monthly fair value gap. Bullish fair value gap. We go to the weekly time frame. There's no fair value gap there. All right, it's nothing really. We got a weekly FEG, a bearish one up here. So let's mark that up here. Weekly FEG. This is a bearish one. Okay. That's good. That's good as a target actually for us to go long into this weekly imbalance. I know Bitcoin likes doing that. So I'm actually like liking that scenario. Do we have a SMT? Not quite. Not quite yet. Do I see anything else? Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. I do see this liquidity sweep here. Did we hit a fair value gap? No, not yet. Last time frame I'll go on is the 1 hour. Nothing that's that clean that I see over here. So I'm not really looking to trade this just yet. It would be nice to find a good trade on Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been our saving grace. And I'll be real with you guys, this month has not been it. Low trade volume. I wouldn't say it's a bad month. Like, it's not like we're losing, or at least like on my accounts, I'm preserving capital where I can. But I'm definitely not trading, and that's something that I don't like for an extended period of time. So after sweeping massive liquidity and forming a weekly swing low, plus filling a monthly FEG bullish, we may look for price action to move higher until at least the weekly FEG on top of us. Okay, at the minimum. That's what I'm looking for. So let's make this smaller though. This is really freaking big. So let's go here. There we go. Cool. So that's what I'm waiting for. Okay. That is my bias or my narrative going into the new trading week. Okay. And let's mark this up properly. Previous day high, previous day low. Do that over here. Boom. Thursday's low was the lowest low, and Monday's high was the highest high. There we go. Cool. That's our dealing range. That's what we're working with. So that's our current thing on Bitcoin. I'm bullish until at least this weekly. But I need to see like a daily break of structure disrespecting this weekly to maybe want price to move higher, and we'll see. Those skinny FEGs low key be powerful. I swear they always get respected. Yeah, so we have it's actually insane sometimes how that works, to be honest. Getting ripped slowly taking over all your charts. I don't know, man. I think that's the only one. That might be the only thing that I do. Remco is like the Charlie Chaplin of day trading. Bitcoin, gold, Nasdaq, Euro USD. Let's do USD CAD, and we'll take one other one. Whatever is the most popular request, we'll do, guys. So drop it in the chat. Which asset you want me to look at? This daily, leaning bullish for USD CAD with a nice 4-hour formation, and likely disrespect of the current daily bearish that we're inside. Withdrawals and liquidity that are up top. The BPR, we look nice to go long if we get the setups. All right, can you drop W's? Can you guys drop W's? Because I... that couldn't have been more perfect. That couldn't have been more perfect. Who's on live? If you guys are coming in for free, like you will literally make money hopping on these lives just like literally for free. Obviously, our group gets actual like guidance into this stuff, but damn. That 4-hour fair value gap that I was talking about, where was it? So Thursday, Tuesday, Monday. Nice 4-hour formation and disrespect of the current. So Monday, when we looked at it on Friday. See it right here, Friday. That 4-hour fair value gap was too fire. We launched off of that and we disrespected the daily. That's all we needed. That is literally all we needed. And price has just gone higher and higher and higher and higher. So do we have any setups? The daily chart looks pretty empty, right? This was like the inversion, I guess. But this is gone now. Done. If you want to get a nice, easy, long setup, I hate, honestly, marking up fair value gaps like this that are so like drawn out. But I mean, this is all I'm seeing right now. I'm seeing liquidity down here as well. That could work if we want to take it out. That's sell side liquidity. So if we get a sweep in here and it kind of goes like that, that's clean. Okay, super clean. And then we got lower resistance liquidity up top. All right, we got some buy side liquidity over here. So to me, this looks like a nice, simple, bullish trade we can get in here. So for my USD CAD people, I think this is a W if you take it. Okay. Previous day high. Previous week high is Thursday. Mine will forever be hella pink and hella green. Shout out to Daniel and Hene for dropping W's, real ones. Everyone else, you're fake as fuck. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Not kidding. So Monday is here. All right. Previous day high, previous day low, previous week high, previous week low. The people on YouTube live right now are like, bro, like what the heck? This guy called me fake. And I can't even type in the chat. If you're on YouTube live and you're not in our community and you have no chat, you get a pass for this week. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Leaning bullish for USD CAD. So yeah, we're gonna rewrite this now. Okay. So now that we are continuing higher into the weekly BPR, the 1-hour formation gives us the most clarity. With a sell side liquidity sweep down below, if PO3 gives us a bullish entry from that area. We're looking solid. Expect to hit BPR this week. This is my narrative, okay? This is my narrative. So that's I'm done for UCAD now. What do you guys want to see next? What did we get? What did we vote for in the VIP community? Let's see. I know UCAD and I know it well. It almost never sweeps liquidity like that, but it will likely retrace there and then we can sit pretty. All right, so what do you guys want? What asset do you guys want to look at? Drop it in the VIP chat. Champions Academy VIP. And we'll take a look at that one next, and then we'll wrap up the session. Like I said, this week was a stupid week. I'm going to show you guys an example of that while I get responses. I want you to look at NASDAQ. And I want you guys to see what this PO3 looked like for the whole week. Asia, London took Asia high. Okay, New York is bearish, went bullish. Asia, London took out Asia high. New York went sideways. Barcode, right? Asia, London took Asia high. Bearish New York, bullish. Asia, London failed to take out. This was the only clear day. New York did take out both lows and they went higher. But like, look, price went all the way up here. Came down, super bearish, and then you're like, all right, never mind. That was like honestly so bad. And then Sunday, so Monday, Asia, London took Asia high, New York sold off. That was cool. That was like the only good situation of the day. If you guys want to see gold, terrible. Asia, London took Asia high, New York went bullish. London took out Asia high, New York went sideways. London took out Asia high, New York went bullish. London, God knows what it did, took out Asia low, New York went bearish. Like, none of this made sense. If you're a mid to high time frame trader, none of this made sense. If you're a low time frame trader, you would have found some good entries because this is where low time frame thrives. If you guys are like, I had a great week last week, it's because you're probably trading low time frame. Every strategy has its seasons, right? Like we've been popping off like every month. This month, I'm gonna be real with you, not the greatest, and that's mostly just trade volume, so like staying out of the markets. But if you're a low time frame trader, you can find opportunities in any market, but you get faked out, right? Whereas high time frame, you get a bit more clarity, you get faked out less, but sometimes if you have a really bad price action week, you may not find trades, and that is not really the best case situation either. It's tough to be in those markets and not trade when you want to, and then it leads to a lot of dumb mistakes, and I know that from experience of making a lot of dumb mistakes. So yeah, it just happens. But this is like the analysis for this week. I want you guys to really, obviously take a lot of what you can and start utilizing it in your own trading. Let's see. Daniel Jr. Wait, why are you bullish on Euro and USD CAD? That's kind of troll. USD CAD, I'm definitely bullish. Euro, I'm bearish overall on high time frame. I'm just bullish maybe potentially for a couple days. Right, I know sometimes they shouldn't be moving in the same direction. Sometimes they do, but that's kind of the thing. So, GU, Omar wants GU, Daniel wants DJ. Michelle, all my forex assets were looked at. Thank you, Christian. Amalia said, what's GU? The disrespect. That's disrespectful. And for that reason, we're going to have to do DJ. That was too disrespectful, honestly, guys. I don't know if... let's get rid of these for a sec. Yes. There we go. MYM. Okay. What's Dow Jones been doing? Ooh. Look at this price action. So beautifully terrible. Okay. So, oh, look at that. Hold on. We popping off right now? I'm bearish on indices. Look at this. Look at this, y'all. What the heck? I've never seen that before. Okay. Look at this. What is that? Whoever said to pick DJ today was correct. It's beautiful. Got the colors wrong though. Potential buy side liquidity sweep. Price respects this daily inversion. We're looking good. No break of structure yet, which is not the greatest. I know we said we don't need it as much, but we have this break of structure here on the 4 hour. Okay. So if we get a 30-minute entry, we get good PO3s, then we're looking nice, we're looking clean. What does DJ look like so far? Asia, London, bearish. Asia, London, not really. Asia, London, same thing. It's not too good. It's a bit better, but not good at all, if I'm being real with you. So indices have been like horrible this last week. So where's my text box? What the heck? Am I tripping? Oh, it's this. Hitting a bearish daily BPR along with a sell side liquidity sweep, buy side liquidity sweep. Leans me bearish. 4 hour break of structure to the downside as well. If we get bearish PO3, we looking good. Remember, PO3 isn't like, if you guys use it in your trading and there's a week where it doesn't work, you will not like your trading that week. There are ways to avoid PO3 and actually find entries in other ways, such as the midnight 8:30 open, right? That's something that you can use. You could also just use overall price action. PO3 is a great tool. I wouldn't live and die by it though. I use it like nonstop. It's great, but you also have to know when sometimes it may work against you, right? And this is one of those weeks. So, you know, overall data, it's going to work for you more than it's not. But in situations where if you don't want to have a week where you're not trading 2 weeks without trading, you sometimes got to look a little bit deeper, okay? That's my biggest lesson for this. On Dow Jones, I'm bearish, and I would, you know, love for that to come true because I'm bearish on the indices overall as well, and that would make a lot of sense, okay? Gold, I'm extremely bullish on. Gold and indices work in opposite directions, so that makes a lot of sense to me. I see USD CAD being extremely bullish, USD JPY being somewhat bearish, but bullish first. Bitcoin, I see being bullish if we can start respecting daily balances and daily liquidity. And then, you know, that's pretty much it. Oil, by the way, look at this. Another W. We called out oil perfectly last week. All right. Now that we met our criteria for bullish price, we'll look for longs if the opportunity presents itself intraday. And we took out every single liquidity that we marked up. Every single one. So if you guys were looking at our oil analysis, you would have made some money if you had taken some trades there. I wasn't looking at oil. I slept on it. And, you know, always, whenever I sleep on this asset, it decides to deliver. Were the PO3s good? No, they weren't. I'll be honest with you. But still some decent moves, right? New York didn't have a lot of the volume. It was in between sessions that had a crap ton of volume, which is insane. And I don't like that because when I'm like getting ready and I'm like, you know, I'm cracking my knuckles, stretching in the morning, and I'm looking at the chart, it's like, all right, cool. But then the whole move happens. So sometimes that does happen. Just because we get our criteria right for bias doesn't always mean we're going to find the entries. And unfortunately, that's just the case. We're not always going to find the entries. It just so happened that like a lot of the movement was in between sessions or in a session that we weren't awake for. So yeah, but it's nice to see that our bias plays out. The narrative at least plays out. Sorry, I should say not bias. The narrative did play out. And, you know, I expect price to just continue to move higher. Expecting price to continue to move higher to grab more liquidity. That's it. Nice and simple. We have liquidity up here, low resistance. Low resistance liquidity up here that we should be grabbing. Okay. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's it. I hope you enjoyed the session. I know you can't really talk, but let's see. I knew the Daniel Jr. index would pull through and come clutch. Oil PO3 is horrible, yeah. All right, so that's it, guys. I really enjoyed being in the session with this week with you. Make sure to catch the recording if you guys miss any part of it. Share it with a friend. You know, this education is really important. Having your whole week set up and planned ahead of time is going to help you a lot with doing anything. So I really, really, really hope you guys take that seriously. You know, take some notes. Every recording, you should learn more. Every time you're on a call like this, you should learn more. And eventually you'll have all the tools that you need to become a profitable trader. Okay, guys? So see you in the next one. And as always,